The next question, are you natty? Woo! So yeah, I'm 100% natty. A lot of people aren't gonna believe it.
I mean, tell me you're a fake natty without telling me you're fake natty. He just did. And I'll give you $50,000 if I fail. Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm going to be going over people who claim that they're natural. And while they answer these questions, I want you to pay attention. Do they sound like they're lying? Many people ask, how do you do a natty or not? Is it the size of their delts, their traps? Is it acne, gyno? What exactly are you looking for? It's a little bit of everything. And this includes how people answer a question.
Natty or not?
How many more times would you like me to say it? Or do it my way? Be 40 years old and still look pretty damn good. People do lie about it, and then when they're caught, it's like, oh! And I come out and say, I am natural. People don't believe me, and it sucks.
This is Linn Bailey, and notice how she's answering the question. People come out and say it, they do that, I've stated this. It's a lot easier to lie that way than to simply point blank say, I'm natural. Right now, I'm natural. I've been natural my whole life. It hasn't changed.
Natty or not?
How many more times would you like me to say it? Or do it my way? Be 40 years old and still look pretty damn good.
Are you natural? Well, how many more times do you want me to say it? I'm 40 years old and look at me. And the reason why you don't look like me is because of your diet.
You think you work out like me, but you don't look like me? I'll let you know why.
It's because of steroids. I'll let you know why. It's because of steroids. That and, of course, genetics and hard work and so on, but mainly the steroids.
I'll clue you in. It's probably your diet.
And so it's probably the diet. I mean, if you're training as hard as her, you've been putting in the work, probably not your genetics, probably not the fact that you're natural, it's probably your diet. Without a protein bar or perhaps whatever egg white omelet that she's having, it's got to be the diet.
As soon as she said that, her nose grew a couple of inches.
And so do you really think she's going to come out and say it's the Anavar?
Bruh.
I mean, have you not heard her voice change throughout the years? And so essentially she's attempting to be the female Mike O'Hearn. She keeps improving with age. Remember, this is a Miss Olympia champion, but she did it while being 100% natural. 95% of bikini competitors in Pro League aren't natural, yet she won Olympia physique women by being natural. How many people actually believe it?
Calories in, calories out. If you're constantly overeating, you're going to constantly gain weight.
I mean, are you seeing her back right now? But she's 100% natural and 40.
Make gains off of eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and snickerdoodles.
What?
I don't even know where that came from. It's just like the first thing that popped in my head.
I mean, does she not have the Anavar voice? That voice that when you close your eyes, you know that they're taking something.
So when you're figuring out your calories, figure out the macros. Figure out the biggest one is your protein.
Yeah, and so it's the macros, the calories, and the protein content. And if you did that, you probably look like Linn Bailey. Maybe if you took Tren.
How many drugs have you taken so you look like this?
I mean, does anyone actually think she's taking nothing? 100% natural, not even a peptide. Does she really think that we believe her?
People do lie about it, and then when they're caught, it's like, oh! And I come out and say, I am natural. People don't believe me, and it sucks.
When I come out and say I am natural, people don't believe me. She's speaking past tense. If she's actually natural right now, she would say, look, I've said it 100 times, I'm natural. And here's my blood work. You know how I showed my blood work 10 times to prove it? Has anyone ever seen her blood work? When people are adamant of proving that they're natural, if you come out and say, I'm natural, you have to expect people like Coach Greg and Kenny KO to say, no, you're not. And if you don't then back it up with blood work, you're wrong. You're caught red-handed.
Am I natural or not?
Next, we're seeing a girl who's bigger than Coach Greg. And Kenny KO approaches her and says, are you natty or not? Now remember, she has every right to say, I refuse to answer and walk away. But she doesn't. She continues to yap.
What? Like they're gonna have to guess whether you're natural or not.
Oh, they have to guess? I don't know what they're gonna say.
She doesn't know what they're gonna say. Now, if she were actually natural, she would say this. Look, I'm natural. Now, what is the audience going to say? They're going to say, look at me. Do I look natural to you? Of course I don't. I'm a 1 in a million specimen that's trained my entire life. Where do you want me to get tested? I'll test any place, anytime. You pay for it, but I'll show up and I will pass. I'll send the blood work to Coach Greg. He'll go over it. That's what they would say. But if they're fake natties, if they're lying, they're not going to do that. They're going to say it's none of your business. No, I'm not doing a test. I don't have to, but I'm natural. And you need to believe me because it's 2025 and I identify as being natty. And so if a man can identify as a woman and compete against a woman, well, she certainly can say I'm natural.
Well, unless you tell him.
No, I'm not. I'm natural.
No, I'm not. I'm natural. Does that sound natural?
Natural?
Yeah.
Lifetime natural?
Yes. How do you think I keep my face?
I'm not even going to start.
So lifetime natural. And what division do you compete in?
Bodybuilding.
It gets worse. So your lifetime natural, why didn't, if she was actually natural, lead with I'm natural? Kenny, I know what you're after. I know who you are. You do natty or not some people all the time. Obviously, you sought me out because look at me. But I'm natural. And you move on. What division do you compete in? Is it not obvious? Clearly, she's a bodybuilder.
So women's bodybuilding.
Yes.
And he slips up and says men's bodybuilding. Is that a Freudian slip?
Natty or not?
Natty or not?
Yes.
And next up, natty or not? And so when the person repeats the question, they're stalling. They don't know what to say. Clearly, she knows she's not natural, but she doesn't want to say it, and so she repeats them. Burgers or fries? Burgers or fries? She's not answering. She's repeating the question.
Natty or not?
Yes.
None of your business. Natty or not?
And a respectable answer. It's none of your business, natty or not. She doesn't want to answer, which almost certainly means that she's not, but she does have plausible deniability at this point.
This is true, but people would be curious to know.
Right, and I don't care what people think.
So not natty?
So none of your business.
And she states, I don't care what people think. If she never cared what people think, she would say, I'm not natural. I don't care what you think. Natty or not, I'm not natural. I don't care what people think. But when you lie or you avoid answering the question, it's as if you care. If somebody says, hey, Coach Greg, you're a manlet. How tall are you? I'm 5'6". I'm proving I don't care. Hey, Coach Greg, you're a manlet. How tall are you? Well, I don't care what people think about my height, but I'm not telling you my height. I refuse to tell you.
Bruh.
It doesn't have the same vibe as answering the question honestly.
The next question, are you natty? Woo! I know most people try to stay away from this question, whether they're using it or not.
No, they don't. Ashton. The question was, are you natty or not? He says, oh, most people, they try to avoid answering this question, whether they're natural or they're not. No, people who are natural do not avoid answering the question, are you natural? Last I checked, if somebody asks Hussein, are you natty? He says, yes, I'm natural. And if you don't believe me, test me at any time. And I'll give you $50,000 if I fail. When I made an natty or not him, what did he do? I'll take my blood work anytime, okay? Do it right away. And he did. And he passed. Oh, but Coach Greg is lying. If you're natural, you don't mind saying you're natural. It's a compliment. Somebody accuses you of being a fake natty. You respond with, no, I'm not a fake natty. I'm natural, and I got the blood work to prove it. That's how you shut people up.
And me personally, I just don't care. Like,
Ashton pulls the I don't care. Personally, I don't care. If he didn't care, he would say, I'm not natural. I don't care what people think. Look at the size of my arms. Do I look natural? I'm not natural. I don't care. He doesn't have to get into the doses, what he takes, and so on. But if he didn't actually care, he would answer the question honestly. He wouldn't try to avoid it. He would say, I take this, I take that, I'm natural, I'm not natural. He would simply answer the question. But if you are a fake natty, what you try to do is avoid answering directly. People, they don't like to lie. And so when you ask them point blank, they don't want to have to answer.
I had it in my bio on Instagram, lifetime natural. And I was getting like so much hate. People were like putting in my comments like, yo, this dude is just like a liar, stuff like that.
And so he used to say lifetime natural and took it down because he didn't like the hate. A person who doesn't care wouldn't take it down because people are hating. If you don't care, you don't care. You wouldn't remove what's in your bio. But if you do care, that's when you take it down. Are you guys not logical thinkers? Does this seem complicated to understand? He obviously cares because he took it down from his bio.
I'm at the point, like, I just don't care, bro. Like, I'm me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna push who I am. You know, my faith, I'm gonna talk about it.
I don't care. He doesn't even answer the question. So, hey, are you natural? At this point, I don't care. I used to say lifetime natural in my bio, but I was getting a lot of hate. People are calling me a liar, and so I took it down, but I don't care. And so at this point, I have a lot of faith in my religion, and I like going to church. I mean, tell me you're a fake natty without telling me you're a fake natty. He just did. Do you get it? He didn't answer the question. He avoided it. He says he used to claim natty. People called him a liar and he took it down. And that he has a lot of faith and he's religious. And so what does that sound like to you?
So, yeah, I'm 100% natty. A lot of people aren't going to believe it.
And so he then, after doing that wash around, realizes, you know, I pretty much have to answer the question now, don't I? I went around it, I tried to avoid it, but I've come full circle. And so, yeah, I'm natural.
I never drank ever, never even tasted alcohol in 27 years. 27 years old, if you don't know.
I'm going to defend myself right now by saying I don't drink ever. I've never even tasted alcohol. What does that have to do with steroids, peptides, growth hormone, and so on? If somebody says, hey, have you ever drank before? And you say, of course not. I never drink. And here's my proof. I haven't used steroids. Does that somehow prove that you don't drink alcohol? And so because he doesn't do one drug, he can't do another. It doesn't matter.
Never smoked ever. Like, I don't mess around or play with any drugs. And steroids, PEDs, whatever you want to call them, they're included. You know what I'm saying?
And so he says, hey, steroids, drugs of any kind, I don't do them. PEDs, whatever you want to call them. I don't believe it. But if he did want to prove it, if he really wanted to claim lifetime natural, do you not think that Ashton Hall has enough money from selling programs that he could likely afford to get his blood work done, to send it to Coach Greg, if he really cared? But do you know what he's going to say in his defense as to why he won't get his blood work done and send it to anyone to analyze? I don't care. If you didn't care, why are you answering this question and posting it on YouTube, Instagram, and so on? You don't care, yet you're talking and posting about it. You have to pick one. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have answered. You wouldn't have posted the question. I mean, you're answering your own question. You didn't have to answer this question, but you chose to. And so if you want to be a fake natty and just not talk about it, and so it's one thing to use performance-enhancing drugs and another to deny it. Many people use performance-enhancing drugs. They don't say yes. They don't say no. They don't post it in their bio. They don't remove it from their bio. They don't talk about it. But if you do talk about it, you have to be ready to accept the criticism. And so, Ashton, if you're natural, get your blood work done and send it to me. And if you think the excuse is going to run, oh, I don't care, this proves that you do.
Don't do drugs.
I kid you not, bro. I was really in the air for 4 minutes.
And so is he lying about the steroids or lying about being in the air for 4 minutes? Who knows?